Welcome back to Soundtrack Collector. I'm Christopher Spencer, author of Film and Television Scores, 1950 to 1979, a critical survey by genre. Today we're exploring the sultry world of sexploitation movie scores, specifically the sleazy listening sounds of European softcore cinema of the 60s and 70s. Groovy, baby. Now, these soundtracks did far more than underscore their films. They helped shape the era's liberated mood with their beguiling blend of funk, jazz, psychedelic rock, and orchestral experimentation. They weren't shy about incorporating moaning female vocals and verbal come-ons, so they might not be the soundtracks you put on in mixed company. Just saying. Unless you're expecting, an orgy to break out, or just want to clear the room. Before I get into my list of 21 plus essential sleazy listening releases, let me say that I'll be taking a slightly different approach in this video by playing sections of some of the tracks without my commentary so that you can really hear them without distraction. But first, let me set the stage for this genre. From the moment film capture met movement, filmmakers realized no subject was more arresting or alluring than the human body. One of the earliest silent films, La Bande, showed a nude female taking a bath. Later, the 1933 Czech film Ecstasy pushed boundaries with Hedy Lamarr's infamous scenes of skinny dipping and supposedly pleasuring herself while stroking a fur rug, causing Pope Pius XI to denounce it and multiple countries to ban it. Needless to say, it made Lamar a star. The United States built walls between sex and cinema through the Hays Code, but European countries never codified prudery in the same way. European culture's relative comfort with nudity and post-war Europe's more liberal attitudes toward sexuality and art created fertile ground for exploitation cinema. So-called Mondo documentaries and white coater sex education films flourished there earlier than in the US, where stricter obscenity laws delayed the sexploitation boom. By the late 60s, Europe had established itself as the continent of boundary-pushing sexual content, from Sophia Loren grinding her hips to Brigitte Bardot bearing it all. And with that content came some of the grooviest, jazziest, funkiest film music ever committed to vinyl. Now, original soundtrack LPs from the 60s and 70s European cinema were limited pressings for the most part that became expensive collector's items. And to the specialty reissue labels, the real heroes of this story. From Germany came Cripple Dick Hot Wax, Diggler, and QDK Media. Italy's Beat Records, Easy Tempo, Dago Red, and Cam, and others had also flooded the soundtrack bins with reissues, and labels like Finders Keepers and Philips have released many gems from France. Now, these record labels didn't just reissue albums, they created a renewed cult following starting in the retro-obsessed 1990s and proved that sexploitation soundtracks deserved serious consideration. Now, as I get into my list of 21 plus essential sleazy listening soundtracks and compilations, you should know that these aren't really ranked. But the first on my list may, in fact, be my number one. Vampiros Lesbos by Manfred Hubler and Siegfried Schwab. If there is one album that defines sleazy listening, it's this one. Cripple Dick Hot Wax's 1995 compilation became an instant cult classic. Originally composed for Jess Franco's lipstick lesbian vampire films, the music is red light swing colliding with sleazy psychedelia. Strip ballads with fuzz guitar, groovy sitar jams, and funky beats. If you only buy one album from this video, make it this one. Take a listen.
who like to, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean.
At number 2, I have Schulmädchen Report. Germany's notorious schoolgirl report films got the soundtrack treatment from prolific composer Gert Wilden. This 1996 Cripple Dick compilation features tracks blending swinging jazz, smooth lounge, funky R&B, and acid rock that swipes some riffs reminiscent of Led Zeppelin in their raunchy prime. Tracks like Dirty Beat and Ecstasy Blues deliver exactly what their titles promise. Take a listen. Now, I can't talk about Gert Wilden without including the 1997 cryptic compilation of his sleazy sounding crime jazz. I Told You Not to Cry, number 3. This collection showcases Wilden's work on late 60s crime dramas and thrillers, genres that often served up sex and nudity as plot dressing. Starting with the scintillating syncopated rhythms of the opening track, Rolf Touring. This compilation comes with suspenseful, jazzy, dramatic elements that demonstrate the stylistic overlap between sexploitation and crime films. Take a listen. Of time. Of time. Similarly, fellow German Peter Thomas composed wild music for many films in the Edgar Wallace crime thriller series that was popular in Germany during the swinging 60s. His scores incorporate screams, gunshots, and sound effects alongside musical themes containing the funky, jazzy vibes that made scenes of murder and mayhem mad fun. There are several compilations that cover these movies, some of which contain music by other composers, as well as Thomas. I can highly recommend the best of Edgar Wallace from All Score and criminal film music from Prudence Records. Take a listen. At number 5, I have Peter Scores, also by Peter Thomas Sound Orchestra. This 2002 Diggler compilation focuses on Thomas's sexploitation work from the 70s. While not as wild and out there as the Edgar Wallace scores or as far out as his Space Patrol soundtrack, another must-have reissue, it offers up his unique blend of funky, jazzy orchestral styles with groovy rhythms and electronic textures, evoking the seductive, cheeky atmosphere essential to the genre. Sophisticated enough to be taken seriously, playful enough to be fun. Take a listen. Number 6, I have At 250 Miles Per Hour by Jerry Van Ruyen. This cryptic compilation captures the Dutch composer's cinematic work that blends swinging jazz and sultry lounge for European crime and sexy thriller films, such as Jess Franco's Succubus and Freddie Francis's The Vampire Happening. Fast-paced compositions like The Great Train Robbery and Sax Hunt reflect the evolving aesthetic of the late 60s, early 70s film music. It's no wonder that trip-hop DJ Funky Porcini remixed these tracks in the 90s. But take a listen to one of the originals. Number 7, I have St. Pauli Affairs and Schwabing Affairs, two essential Diggler compilations celebrating soundtracks of films set in the notorious red light districts of Hamburg and Munich, respectively. Both feature music by Peter Thomas, Barry Littman, Roland Kovac, and a number of others, all offering a masterclass in how to musically evoke the seedy urban settings where eroticism meets crime. Take a listen. Number 8, I have Melodies in Love, another Diggler compilation, collecting Gerhard Heinz's erotic film music featuring juicy funk instrumentals, lounge jazz, disco grooves, and smooth romantic themes. The music is seductive without being crude, danceable without sacrificing sophistication. The first track, All You Ever Need Is Beat, is worth the price of admission alone. Take a listen.
That's what you need, baby. Oh, come on, give me some. Oh.
Bangkok at night, lights shining bright. Everyone's your neighbor in that street full of flavor. Tiny faces, brown and shy.
Now, while Germany certainly knew how to party, Italy's film industry was even bigger and is responsible for a slew of soundtrack reissues and compilations over the years. Number 9, I have the Beat at Cinecittà 3-volume compilation series released between 1996 and 1999 by Triple Dick Hot Wax. It features Italy's finest composers, everyone from Riz Ortolani and Bruno Nicolai to Piero Piccioni and Ennio Morricone, and many, many more. The music spans lounge, psychedelia, soul jazz, pop, funk, and electronic soundtracks. If you're serious about sleazy listening, you need all 3 volumes. Take a listen. Now, if you want even more sexy Italian soundtrack compilations, and who wouldn't, you can't go wrong with my next pick. At number 10, the Easy Tempo series. This 11-volume series highlights rare, funky, soulful, jazzy grooves from the 60s and 70s Italian cinema, featuring composers like Piero Umiliani, Morricone, Nicolai, Piccioni, and more, with very little overlap between this and the Beat at Cinecittà series. And there's even 2 or 3 discs of remixes that are pretty good. Take a listen. Speaking of Umiliani, Easy Tempo has reissued a slew of his soundtracks over the years, including a trio of 1970s films starring exotic sex symbol Zueta Aria. including La Ragazza della Pella de Luna, La Ragazza Firestrada, and Il Corpo, creating some of the lushest, most sophisticated sexploitation soundtracks ever recorded. The famous piano theme, Pella de Luna, and contributions from Alessandro Alessandroni make these genuinely beautiful Latin jazz-tinged scores. Take a listen. It's hard to talk about Umiliani without mentioning one of the most influential soundtracks in the entire Sleazy listening canon, even though the Mondo documentary film about sex and drugs in Scandinavia that it accompanies is long forgotten. Of course, I'm talking about Sweden, Heaven and Hell. Umiliani's 1968 score became iconic for one track. Mana mana do 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 do. You know the one. It gained worldwide fame via the Muppets in the 70s. Beyond that novelty hit, the soundtrack blends lounge jazz, funky grooves, and atmospheric compositions. Easy tempo yet again. Take a listen.
Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
Number 13, I have Camille 2000. You know, you really can't talk about Eurosleaze cinema without talking about Radley Metzger, a filmmaker who elevated softcore erotica to art. His 1969 film, Camille 2000, boasts an ultra-groovy score by Piero Piccioni, spare arrangements, bass-heavy lines, and an air of jet-set ennui that makes you wish that you were rich, good-looking, and oversexed. Also available from Easy Tempo, of course. Take a listen. Number 14, I have the Black Emanuel series from Beat Records, and I think Dago Red as well. Nico Fidenko's scores blend pop, funk, jazz funk, Latin rhythms, and electronic textures into a nightclub-like vibe. Expect tropical ballads, female vocals, electric pianos, romantic violins, languid trumpet solos, ethnic percussion, psychedelic guitar, and electronic experimentation, all creating music that feels sophisticated, playful, and intensely sensual. Take a listen. Number 15, I really couldn't choose. It was Ennio Morricone, but which one? Even the legendary maestro of spaghetti westerns composed music for Italian sexy comedies and erotic thrillers. There have been many compilations and soundtrack reissues over the years that capture this side of Il Maestro, with compilations such as Mondo Morricone and Red Light Disco and So Sweet So Sensual, all showcasing his jazzy experiments, his psychedelic funk, his loungy grooves. Take a listen. At number 16, I have Last Tango in Paris by Gato Barbieri. This 1972 soundtrack is a masterpiece of jazz-infused cinematic music. Now, his expressive tenor saxophone weaves between lyrical melancholy and passionate intensity, with arrangements by Oliver Nelson with jazz, Latin American influences, and melancholic orchestration. It's pretty brilliant. It's deeply romantic as well as sensual. Take a listen. At number 17, I have Histoire d'O, or Story of O. Pardon my lousy French pronunciation. Pierre Bachelet's 1975 soundtrack captures the film's BDSM atmosphere with dreamy, stately, sometimes sinister music. The score blends psychedelic elements with seductive atmospheres, oscillating between dreamy romanticism and darker moods. At number 18, I have Emmanuel, France's original Emmanuel from 1974 with two M's. It launched a franchise and unofficially launched the Black Emmanuel franchise. Now, the original soundtrack by Pierre Bachelet offers a dreamy, seductive score featuring lush melodies, soft orchestration, and an exotic flair, since I believe some of the story takes place in Bangkok. Now, Francis Lay continued the sensual tone on the sequels, romantic, soft, and luxuriously atmospheric. And take a listen to the original. At number 19, I have a bit of a stylistic outlier, the B music of Jean Rollin from Finders Keepers Records. French cult director Jean Rollin's surreal, sexy vampire and horror films got this essential compilation from Finders Keepers. Offer up music that spans krautrock to free jazz to psychedelic pop to experimental soundscapes, perfectly capturing Rollin's erotic, dreamlike atmosphere. Take a listen. At number 20, I have Shake Sauvage, French soundtracks from 68 to 73, another Cripple Dick Hot Wax release, this one from 2000. This compilation gathers wild, funky, mostly psychedelic, yeah, French film music from the golden years. Composers like Jean-Pierre Moreau's, Philippe Sard, and Claude Bolling blend French pop, blaxploitation influences, and psychedelic sounds into something fairly revolutionary. Take a listen. At 21, I have Le Cinéma du Serge Gainsbourg. No discussion of French sexploitation soundtracks would be complete without Serge. This triple disc box set from Philip gathers scores featuring jazzy grooves, orchestrated melancholia, and his ironic playfulness. Often for softcore films or sexy crime dramas. Striptease, erotico, sex shop, and of course, Je t'aime, mon non plus, which became a smash hit. Take a listen.
Les orgues, elle joue pour toi. Il est terrible, cet air-là. J'espère que tu aimes, c'est assez beau, non? C'est le requiem pour un con. Ouais,
Now, if I'm talking about Serge, I should mention Histoire de Melody Nelson. While not technically a film soundtrack, this 1971 concept album tells a cinematic, erotic narrative through spoken word and lush musical arrangements. Highly influential, inspiring artists like Beck, Tricky, and Air. Take a listen. Another bonus on this list comes from the German label QDK Media, 3 compilations that collect the soundtracks of America's sexploitation pioneer Russ Meyer. Films like Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Motorcycle, Vixen, Super Vixens feature everything from surf rock to lounge jazz. It's more playful than seductive, more tongue-in-cheek than genuinely erotic. There is some hilariously ribald dialogue. Now, the sound quality on these discs isn't pristine because it's taken from film and not from original recordings, but it's still worth having.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to violence, the word and the act. While violence cloaks itself in a plethora of disguises, its favorite mantle still remains sex. Violence devours all it touches, its voracious appetite rarely fulfilled. Yet violence doesn't only destroy, it creates and molds as well. Let's examine closely then this dangerously evil creation, this new breed, encased and contained within the supple skin of woman. The softness is there, the unmistakable smell of female, the surface shiny and silken, the body.
Come on! Taking too damn long!
And if that isn't enough Russ Meyer for you, you can always get the fun-loving Stu Phillips soundtrack from Hard Hit Records for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Take a listen.
I left home when I was only 17. Met a guy, he and I drove down to New Orleans. He seemed to know his way around, and I thought I could land a sweet talking candy man. Talking candy man. Ooh, such a talker. Sweet talking candy man.
Now, Sleazy listening scores were far more than background music for skin flicks. Composers brought genuine artistry to disreputable material, creating sophisticated, experimental, innovative music, blending jazz, funk, psychedelia, lounge, and orchestral music into soundscapes that remain captivating decades later. The reissue labels of the 1990s and 2000s deserve enormous credit for rescuing this music from obscurity. Without them, these soundtracks would remain inaccessible to new generations. Now, sleazy listening isn't just a cheeky label, it's a legitimate musical subgenre with its own aesthetic codes and cultural significance. These soundtracks helped shape the era's liberated mood, influenced countless musicians, and continue to captivate listeners with their beguiling blend of groove, sophistication. These scores remind us that genuine creativity, innovation, and beauty can flourish even in exploitation cinema's shadows. Some of the grooviest, funkiest, most inventive film music ever recorded. Music that's sexy, sophisticated, and utterly timeless. Say, hey, but what about the American side? Well, I gave you a little bit of a taste with Russ Meyer. Of course, there has been soundtrack reissues for various hardcore pornos like The Devil in Mrs. Jones, Deep Throat, and so on and so forth. And while those have their entertainment value, I didn't want to muddy the waters of this video by trying to include those as well. They belong in their own video in a way. And if you're interested in seeing a video like that, let me know in the comments. So leave a like, leave a comment, share with one of your more adventurous friends, and thanks for taking this journey with me. Until next time, keep those turntables spinning and those velvet curtains drawn, and remember, sometimes the sleaziest sounds are the most sublime.